Wasa achtu yek satini dekat Johan ya wooch in chasati tachonach oer achletzin ya ha wooch in gawu aya ya ohan adusade tuwasaku hayuchatangitin yekagachtus ti Ewa adati tuchtatan tach chonachoe ya adyawune kakasachan tillaan ka datatinach sahayati gol qeqa hatuwasaku qeqa lingit khasati akhu anikdena ya yehasayane yehas adane ya hastu in quutin Techasaku wasa at kakwane hastu kach ya achtuwasaku qoa ya hashish kohas ade hai has outletuye ya hakusti dat ya te yakhaya yakakachtusti aqawe kushtiach wasa nikden has eo qaqa qolye hastaine ya akhua ya hain khsati awa ya t'aawáxko hatu hasawlchuni yewe adati tuchtatan wasa tuulitsin aya yawdlaq yawduwadlaq qa qallitsin su ya saatihin hinde aya ya ana atchin ya achtuwasagutsu uhan suchu ya saatihinde yantu at chutlaya ya lingich tutultu wan qanins kegurtlitzi aqaa adach tletsin kachaya yegartusane ya hatlaqay hatu hayaqwahequ qahadait wasartuwasagutlitsin hatu yeyeti akhua aya has hain hasakawani ke tuyeyeti aya hayuqatangi tuyeyeti awe ha khilko haslitsini ye awe ye khwaji khatsu ajwe ya hayati yesu wal chuya shashakide yisuku ya singedane qa takhliyati akhua we sha was it asha salkhan ya talqunakh kusha qanakhay sha tlank chu oya shashakide aya yantu at akha ya hanakhaswu at qalneilde ohan kha hatu wasagu shashakide aya yantu at ya chwe ya khayati wujin ye awa chaq ya an qashaqhu akhua aya hastu yagu shashaki aya kauduwaduk akayeti yesu we tlagu kanach tlagu tikh ye hatu wasagu hastu tikhiya utuwutei aqa awe hastu yagu yikte aya chuya hastu yagu yikte gachtu a wushtin aya agachtu kha Yew adatu tuchtatan yagi khaqachguk edukelke has ye awashakawa ja ach kelke has yigo ayachwan yende naitsu yi achai yende naitsu yi achai ye awa achtu asagu yi achsakai yat ayach yende naitsu yi achai konakho yi t'aawáḳ Kegurchitzin hayuchatangi. Heltes chayeku gingi hashuk kwaha. Klaik. Ya atlein ayaha tuwasagu. Klingit rinach yuchatlaatgi. Aqawa yekwati. Yeawa yekhwaji. Atlein awe tuwasagu hasawasini. Kuni naksa hayuchatangi dat yandet. Hasnaq ya yidat ya qewne khwaynaq wasa hastu tuawsku a klein qu hayuqtange qane yande ya hasyan atlaqi aqawi yeti ya ya nakhikaya ya hakosi wuchin. Hacho ishtiqa khatati yeast hak aya yak ak kwan ani cook hetchishugu akko a ya kurte. Chu ya just clay dakus tan ya ani cook. Just see you tuck Kunachwel the katat with the tuck. Ya yeast tea latinechat yeti ya yuk atachju ha ya the cut with tea zetl tinach to us go with the lechi. Kunachwe has to dot you to hotangzu, waiting get renach ʼadudli.átgi. Ha in chasego wasar to us go has to in yejet to ne, has to chanch to ardi. Ja, je gi choach gwell si Alaska, hit a haska gwell hit has gwa Ja, ha yw chatangi kach, a ga just llingit gwell de ki na gwell zwts gan yw chatangi a yech. Yewa ha tu a ti, ja yw chatangi hiti chwtz a ti, ja ag kwan ani kach. A gawe wasa hakakwa ha ya ade yeju tuni ya achtuasagu a klein awe we adatki has to inu khachtatani kagen wat ka ach yach katagu echwasagu wasa gachtu sa middle age khoa ja a shu de aya hasbu ati ye awa achtu yak e yuhan sha shakide yantu at wooch in ye awa achtu ti ya yidat Uchinyo ati hetachataya. Wasa yi tuuch, wasa yi yeti, wasa shti denuk, wasa wuti we htakatat we you atkutik. You atkutik ya uhi shukwaya we yagi akachawe we deki and kawu do yit kudzati a hastu to asgu sendi class at way you haskautla atkin. Ye awa ka yis tak sagu yis tak yuhan. Ya gwahdana kuchdana ay akaka kwashiki the kathatsak akch we dech heltus tu at dech naski awe huji ai. Ya gulchish gwashya yagi tek ashkashnik ka tek a qad qaqik yuqatangi akhtawasagu at gachtusa ahi. Aqawe adat wujin yuqaqartutlaati qadata tinirsa hayati ya yidat qaseqanan iti asandeqa iti atis klash ash qzati shukal khukhs yach aya ya ha lingich tutultu yewe adat yutuchtatan yayagi ya qunach gwell teich dis qanach qunach we adat yutuchtatan wasa yak qaqa ya khana achawe ya kanadina we akhiqatangi huchaya qa yewe yekuge akhiqatangi yiwaqshi ke qatitsu we ach ish has ai shtu ka yudu asago at yisikuge shtu ka gled khakh inach wasa du asag chagu ka shtu ka guantan khustin klak an dach
Strong man.
du ish has qanach teidi train at awa gwash awa tau aqa we kasi at dakihit a yide yan yausani how you katangi hakusi data kaushahit tsu Pennsylvania aqe wutian du shat katratsewa qaqde sai gwash kaushahit qa Sadu asako at yandeva.
Partridge.
Ye awa. Du saie wutien kat kwachs ne. Du shut. Ja, hu awe stuur ha Louis Shortridge. Du shut. Ja, ach klar. Du ish. Du glak. Awe hu. A joyach sunny plain awe. Du yuchatangi datea ye jutune chat kakuch. Ye wakshi ke kwatia khana. Ya I dat ko I eat ko ha. Chada sadati tawasugu ikhawatani. Khwasaku taik des kanach kunachewe kaishikit yuchatangi. Gwash. Ya I dat yuchak gitan pilchish.
Knachit ye jene wa ka kuh. Way comparatives, lengths. Knachit
Pilchish. Wadat yuchagachtit la. Du actually yuchakwatan. It was a good tea we douched our shotty clued.
Katsu kunakoe ach tu yeke wushin ya ye hayetu mai tie tawa desi kanach kakao jigit kusiat kunakoe het with a kwet adak ja, kunach ach tu yeke yeksetini kati khan ganul chish khati adi.
Kechak pilchish. So kega.
Inde naitsa I achai ach keski has ya yagi khwaji you said yaka
Ye yaka.
ye yaka ya think it yukatangi cha ayahawe gwat ksawe ka kachkuk ka du keski has ya keith cha plain yik he asked them
Hasak ewa woos.
has akewawus gusa hayati are we going forward?
Get the chunde yante kuch.
Please say that again.
Ya the chunde ge yante kuch.
Ya da chunde ge yan hakuch ka du keski has. Du in has ya ka plake chas play. Just staying in the same spot.
Just clear.
Ka'ayekhwaji, yayagi, ya you katangi. Away. Neste. Ya snakuch. Ye that away. Ach take. Yekhwaji, ach take it. I can see it.
Khatin.
Khatin, ya you katangi. Yakhana away. While you were speaking, I was understanding more.
Okay.
You were speaking.
Yukiwatani.
Yukiwatani chayesa. Understand. Idayakashiske. I don't know. I understood. Okay. Hoot.
Kecha we can cheese plain. Ish. Kecha. Okay, chat do so.
Chatgwell. Sigu is talk stikat Juhan. Yak yuxatini yakana. Achtui which in je kagach tune ha singet yukatangitin. What's a cool Hakai humid singet ena but kunach humid yeti yak ajawe atlain kachwan stikatye we as yedash kachwan tin ega kadan yeti yak ha ani Hutewe sheesh
Cheese. Kecha. Kecha. Kusina.
Data
Kusina.
kusana
Humid.
good sheesh
Ynaltish yak satini. Achunian. Yidat. T'aawáḳ Dísi. Chinka ka naskadushu yagi. Yuhan T'aawáḳ yisatinge. Has anybody seen a goose, Canada goose, flying yet?
Like,
Keep an eye out.
Wanach away.
T'aawáḳ Dísi. You do suck, yeah, this.
Gosh, cheese.
yeah, Hosatin Johnson's Crossing.
Kinda chunete we chwasatin. Yak hasiti. Gulchish away to cut you hon. Yuk ewe, yuchatangi ʼawaxi. Ye'awa, te in kachone kwasach to wasaku. Ya ach ku atletu yi. Hasawestini, ya kuni nachsa, kone, you has kewatan, ya hayuchatangitin. Kunachoe atina hasyati. Kuntag kanach ayatlas awestin. Ya yende yentitlaqi. Ya yidet khoach uya wikilja. Tudach aya. Ya autuha. Ya dua. Ya hashil kohas ani. Atkan ani de. Kulchu uya kultag. Tag ani de. Sagutin. Yewe ach tu wooch. Sagutin yejetune. Ya hayukatangitin. Adeya ya wasahatu wasagu ʼadudli.átgi ya qasakhan qatilla antin. Yake atatat. Qawe. Ade awahasawar khaitzen. Yewe yeqaqtusti. Achtu yake adat yuhan. Achtu yake adat. Gulchish qawe. Ya gahtulsa tlet qa yuqatangitin. Ye awe. Gulchish. What a wonderful time to be together. What a wonderful moment to just be in Tlingit. Break was too long. I had too much to say. Just it's been a whole month away from you guys. Just talk. So I just really these days I really value kindness and respect and love. Because not everybody lives that way. Like that's what we're told, right? Like it's in there. It's there. And some people don't live on that stuff. It's words to live upon. So I think about this stuff all the time because some people that I teach, they go and just hurt people, they harm people. And I'm frustrated with some things that happen, but these things do happen, and so there'll come a time when we'll address some of this stuff, and I think talk a lot more directly with the future children who are growing up and being more just saying like these aren't just words, like this is a whole life. There's a whole life. Like, and so when I think about the ways that we were taught and some of the things that I was saying earlier, was like we were taught this because this is the way they want us to live. This was their dream, this was their vision, this was their wish, which is why I'm so happy to be back with you folks as we do this work and support each other and be kind to each other and be kind to people that we're around and that we live with. Because sometimes things, I was visiting with Qaqtaqashu, and we're at one of these sharing our knowledge conferences, and he was eating pilot bread and fish. He had fish and crackers, and he said, I'll put that in the chat. Well, let me write it down, then we'll figure it out. So we'll do a little, just a little warm-up exercise, right? It's the words of the old masters. So we got to spend some time with it. And then I got him to, I said, you got to say it again. I took out my phone, and the crackers were really flying around. But it was all worth it. It was such good stuff. So he said, so, somebody help me spell this. What am I going to write? I'll say it slow. We got to spell it first. Just work on our spelling.
YOO back X back X A
Oh.
Oh,
Thing.
pinch.
Ah,
ATANG.
oh.
Ah.
Hi.
Nachawik.
Ach, eat in the shit.
IA.
I'm gonna let my helper just continue on.
NGI.
Yuqtangiqut. Uqkeqwati iqusti.
Underline G.
O, high tone, long O, high tone. T,
Uqkeqwati iqusti.
UX underline.
This is like real life Elon. Please slow down.
Shift spacebar. Shift spacebar.
K,
Good.
E, high tone I? Or just KEI? Okay.
Qwati. Uqkeqwati.
got
Okay,
K, W, A, T, E, E.
It's 1K.
Oh, K,
KGW.
Underline G. Yeah.
PEE.
Quati.
A, T, E, E.
High tone.
Yuqtangiqut uqkeqwati iqusti.
I. KUSTI. Oh, back K. Kusti. EEYI high tone.
Woo.
What luck?
Okay. First of all, tleqaqinaq T'aawáḳ.
Your language.
Without.
Yeah.
Into like oblivion. That's not quite right. Into
Uqke is a tricky one, yeah. Kawayik is oblivion. Well, I guess Kude is oblivion, and Kawayik
out of
is into thin air.
plus out of control.
Yes.
Your way of life.
Will be
Will be.
your life.
Okay, so now how are we gonna
That would go smooth it.
smooth it out into some nice, we're gonna chook it into English.
Without your language, your life will be out of control.
Well, spin out of control.
Spin out of control.
Oh,
Control. Okay.
Uke also is listed for blindly.
Yeah, it's like to just do something just
Something.
totally wild.
Yeah, gonna shish.
Okay, well, before I ask this, let's make sure we got these. How would we translate each of these? Just on their own. Those were the only things there. Ukhkekwati and kdenkakwati.
Will be out of control. It will be excellently done.
It will improve.
Ah,
Kdenka,
okay.
it will improve. Okay. 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 Unverb sa yak.
T'aawáḳ.
T'aawáḳ.
Ukhkekwati.
Mm-hmm. So if we just took that part, what do we have in it? We gloss it. We did this in intermediate too. Just do some little exercises. Get us, shake off the rust. Like a dog coming out of the water of English. Just shake it off.
It will be.
It will be, yes. But now I'm asking, if I pull this thing apart, what are all the little parts that are in there? I want to gloss it. And we even put them in pretty colors.
At the very end is T.
The root.
And it's yati as opposed to siti or some of the other T's.
Mm-hmm. Go with
So,
we can
ha.
go see these little pencils if I put them like that. We're gonna make this one. If you could see it, it's mocha. Okay. Well, that's gotta be licorice. Ooh, delicious. Licorice and mocha. I don't know if that's a good combination, if you ask me.
Ga'uka.
Ga'uka is gonna be in there, yeah. Whoops.
Ah.
Ga'uka. Let's see, we're gonna go with licorice, but then we're gonna go with, ooh, how about, what did I use for this one? I'll try magnesium. I can't see it. Nickel. We'll go nickel. Two more things. What could they be?
Unay,
Ah,
could you go for the colors on the ends, left and right, rather than the ones in the middle? Because the ones on the ends are easier to see. Ah,
just zoom away. It's all right. You want darker? You want tin?
ah,
Steel? Steen. Okay.
t'aawáḳ.
No, it can't. It's got to be gray. It's got to be some. My palette has already been developed.
Yes.
There, ya.
There, well, it's a future, so there cannot be a ya. But it will be that type of thing.
How about a 0?
And we'll go grape. Ooh, grape. Okay. Grape 0. Sounds like a horrible drink. Have a grape 0. No sugar. Just grape extract. And it's one more thing. And it's also, it's going to look a lot like one of the things that's already on there. Just be in a different spot.
Zero pronoun.
Yes, a zero object. So, how about aqua? Okay, so those are the parts. When you get quati, right? If there was no vowel before, it would be gukwati, which is what we see down here. When we see quati, this K causes the contraction right there. Kedain gukwati, uncontracted. Okay. Okay. So this, this is just the thing I think about, right? Like just living this life, trying to do this work, living, studying this language, not just for any old reason, but just to like find a whole way of life. Like we could look at a whole bunch of stories, speeches, all kinds of stuff that'll show us a bunch of these things, these concepts. Like just as quoting someone. Who was I quoting right there?
George Davis.
Kahwanish, George Davis, right? And so, go ahead.
Oh, I was laughing because he got that. That was a tough question.
So right here, H iyach shingataniqa niktain daiqa niktain kuda inik. Just to shaan qaqisakhan qa etik tuyenu. Yanas quatl shingatani. Akagade guchlaquat. Akuk qati ekusti. Quashnik to akad ikade. Ikadik qagud. Achawe just qisakhan qatishaan etik tuyenu. Chawasa ye ke ikatini. Ya an etu shaan eku gwashi idehas guchtishi. I listen to stuff all the time. I think I was there when he said it. I got him to record it again. Translated it once, and then I worked on it with Cheshi, Will Geiger, and we were able to fine tune it with his help. So it's don't speak or act with ill will to the people of the world who are like yourself. Only love and kindness, put that in your heart. The world is spinning around. It's going to roll up to the place where your life will be going out of control. Maybe illness too will come your way. That is why only love and kindness, put that in your heart. However your life gets out of control, these people you have been kind with, maybe they will help you. And he said, like, this is something his mom used to tell him all the time. She used to just say it to him all the time. And so it's like a mantra, like he could just recite it, right? And so I think about this stuff all the time because it's not just something you say, it's like something you do. And there's been some stuff that's happened in our language community that's just horrifying. And I'm not going to get into the details here, but I just want to say, like, live with kindness and live with respect and live with love. Because once you start taking those things away, it just starts causing harm. But on the other side, to think about something totally different. We're in a meeting today, and they asked us all to share a phrase. And so this is the one I shared. Because I think it's interesting. Because that doesn't really say the world spins. It's a little bit different than that. And how? Because spinning, I think, would be what's the world doing in the Tlingit brain?
Is it like rolling or something? Or
Rolling. The world is rolling. And so that verb would be like a ball rolling across the floor. That's really cool stuff to me. Like, how did the old people, and this is from old Tlingit, you got real old songs that have phrases like this. This isn't just something where somebody told us that the world is rolling or talk about gravity or whatever. Like, this is how we talked about the world a long time ago, which is interesting to me, to try and think of this kind of stuff. So what's on your mind, folks? What you've been thinking about? Got any? You had a whole month to think of some great, juicy questions about Tlingit, and we're just getting started. Like we got a whole semester get back in the rhythm of things. But I thought I'd just check in. Any thoughts, questions, things you've been just, you want to scratch this itch and like ask this question you've been thinking about this whole time?
Okay,
Renee.
today,
Oh.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, you first. I told myself next time this happens, it'll be you first.
Oh,
I was wondering, if I could bring up a beginning Tlingit class to sit in on one of your classes in April. Okay, I will work on you with that.
Tuesday, Thursday, we're over there, and Monday, Wednesday, I'm right here.
Tuesdays, Thursdays, and that's beginning, or they could do any class. There's about 12 of them.
I do intermediate, and I only do intermediate and advanced.
Is it okay if they come?
Of course.
Okay, intermediate and advanced. Okay.
Advanced. You know, I asked these guys in Hawaii, I said, how'd you learn how to swim? I said, well, my dad took me out in the boat and he threw me in the water. So sometimes you gotta do it.
That's what they did to me.
But we'll do it with kindness. Yes. Kindly throw them out of the boat. So, okay.
Okay. It kuha.
No.
There's the online dictionary, you know, that I got on my phone and on my iPad. So my wife downloaded that into a PDF on books. And now I can mark it up.
Okay.
I haven't even done it yet, but I mean, that's going to be a good tool, I think.
Yeah, that's great. You know, circle stuff, scratch stuff, color stuff. Make it yours. Cheese.
Well, I have another question.
Oh.
I wanted to say, take us home. Because that's how I felt when I saw you in class today. I thought I was feeling so good about the language. And you started speaking Tlingit again, and that was so good to hear. And I thought, man, take us home. Teach us how to do this. So is this how you say that? Take us home. Han neiste naskuch.
Oh, yeah, that would be like take us by boat. Yeah. Hanetli day, naskuch. James, drive us home, James. I was, okay, I guess, did I ever tell you folks the James story? Chut aye ha wutien. Ha yun shukayi. Chukach adi ani kach. Yun shukakuzeti. At khan ani achu aye has ayasakta. Hayur katangi dat aya wish kanachutu da an. Gwell 10,000 ka keujin. Ach wutien ka nak keuchne. Se de ya. Kach klein. Kuch. Gachdakashu. Tunk. Kunachwe wuke has kingiste. Kunachwe wuke has to ineja chonean. Akawe. Ya. Masa. Hechwasaku van klein. Hajiye wutien. V12 atuyeti. Kunachwe litsini at. Haska adusa at kakwas kuch. Ya van klein. Achawek a kautu a chait. A kautut le chait. Yewe ye yachwaka. Chataya, hilwasak wati kakwa ak. Yashtakat ye chayachwakuch on. At has khasakukh chagudesa has to tuati. Kanak. Nail day James, nail day James. Hundaka hitty day James. Oh, ye ewe. Ye yachwaka. Wasa ach tu ye Jamesy khatsati. Gun cheesh. Has to eat khatashi, has to atla addi awaitin. Aqawe ye khat hasu wasa. Khatsin James. Kalktihin qawe uski zaitk. Kwal Van Klein a yikdache haska kwaat we yan waadk. Has to eat khatashi. We zaitk itin. Kalktihin qa gau itke khatbuti. De a yikdach hasu aati. Aqa achi sai we gan. Shushke James. Ye awe. Qahwa aqwa. Gau yachae ye jachwanean. Aqa yake James yachwatlaq asai. Ye awe ekashkashnik aya ekashkashnik. Okay, let's translate that. What did I say?
Driving in a big V12 van. That's
Yeah,
very powerful.
It's a big
Powerful.
V12 van. Where
And
were
you
we?
were up in Chilkoot in 2005
Yes.
with a whole bunch of people
Yeah.
like Kingeji,
Hingesti. Who's that in English? Okay, I'll name them. You tell me.
David Katsy,
Yeah.
Teochne.
Nora,
Sedeya.
March,
Mary Anderson.
Mary Anderson. Ooh.
David Strong.
That's
No?
cool.
David
Cool.
Strong.
Oh,
Smitty.
Tunk.
Teochne du ik.
Johnny.
Johnny Marks.
oh,
Qachklain.
Oh,
Oh, this is got tests of gotta be old schooler to get these ones. Qachklain. And not old school, like I know some of you are a little older than me, but I'm saying like a language age old schooler.
Paul.
Paul
Paul
Jack.
Jackson.
Yeah, Paul.
Kanak.
Ruth.
Ruth
Demmer.
Ruth.
I think. Oh, Qachdakashu.
Seven rabbits?
What Qachklain? I used to say, is that like a big bunny? He's like, it's not a big rabbit. Oh. So I got in trouble for asking him. Qachdakashu. It's long. Qach, like crying. It's from Klukwan.
Joe.
Joe Hotch. And Tunk.
Smitty.
Yes, I think those were all the speakers that were there, if I remember right.
Punyati.
Aquin. I think she was, I think so. Yeah, Gnachish, Quneote. Okay,
Martha Hotch.
and let's keep the story, and then what? What happened?
Well, they wanted to know who could drive the van,
Yes, they said,
And-
who's gonna drive the van?
and you said you would do it.
Yes, they said, Ach, a kautut lechik.
Adusaway James.
Okay, well, yes, Yawaka. Ach, a kautut lechik. A dutsa. We van plane. We're scared of it. Who's gonna drive this big van?
Then they started telling you, drive me home,
Well, I said,
drive me.
yeah, I could drive it. Yes, and I started to drive them everywhere. Drove them home. Drove them to the store.
And they called you James.
Ha nak yechatu wasa.
How do you spell ach?
AA_X. From
And
it.
that means
From it.
from it?
Yeah. So you
From
could
it.
say weqa to idach I'm scared of that man. I'm scared of dogs.
So instead of from, it's of.
You end up saying from, but then when you translate it, in Tlingit you'd say from, but in English you would say, I'm scared of it, yes.
Okay.
I'm scared of the dark. Okay, let's see, what else? So Ruth Demert named me, she called me James. She started saying, Next day, James. Hundagahiti day, James. And she started just saying that. Hastu atla ati, hastu ikhat de she, atla itlatin James, he hastu wasa, yan want. I helped them with their luggage, and so they named me Strong James. Kektihi, we zaitki, hastu ikhwat de sheetin, we yan want, we van claim yikdachas wa ati. Kektihin ko agaw it kaya yejachwane. De adachas wa ati, atla Tlushke James. Ye haskhat uwasa.
Something about your driving was not good and they didn't want to call you James anymore? No?
Not well. Hastu ikhwat de she, we zaitki team. Adachaswu ati, like a yikdach haswu ati, we yanwad. I would help the elders get out of the van with the little stool. So I'd run it around so they could step on it. Kektihin gau itk ejechwane, de a yikdach haswu ati. Achawe klesh, ushke James, ye haskhat uwasa. Oh, that one's tricky. Ye skhat uwasa, you could say. One time, I was late, grabbing the little stool. The elders had already gotten out of the van, so they named me Bad James. It was all teasing, it was all for fun. We're all laughing, so don't feel bad. And then they said you could earn it back, and so next time I was on time, I was Good James. So that was the story. It's a true story, true story. I don't know what made me think of it. Okay.
So is good James, you got K.E. James?
K.E. James.
And
So
K.E. James is bad James.
Yes, you take any state verb and you just throw, it's called an attributive suffix. It works exactly like that relational suffix, but it's always low. So tlichan, tlichani, tlitzin, tlitzini, tlitzini, that's low all the way through. A strong thing, right? And so that's how that attributive works. Is you could take any sort of, especially a descriptive one, whatever, douche, a dirty cat, right? And so that's a fun one to learn how to use. And it's pretty straight.
When you assign an attributive suffix to K apostrophe W, is it G?
It would be you.
You.
Shichiyak is, anybody know that one? I say it to my son. I say, Shichiyak, and he gets mad at me.
Is it slow?
Slow, yeah. One time I said, Shichiyak. He's like, I'm not slow. He got real mad at me. So, Shichiyaku, that would be a slow. Shichiyaku.
I was guessing that you were calling him a frog.
Yeah, you try to get out the door. There's always one kid who's just gonna drag their feet.
Okay, so in that in the prologue to Kakachkuk, he says they're talking about Gajahin and what's Sacheki and in between New Plain, and he goes, one of the things he said was "Yea, do a sagu yea." How do you get that word?
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah.
So we're going to look at this yay thing, okay?
All right.
Have verb. And what does that get us as far as meaning?
That's the place.
The place where verb, right? So whatever the verb is. So when we get to this attributive suffix, right, is it's going to follow all the rules of the possessive or relational suffix, right? So it's going to be an I, unless it's rounded, then it's going to be a U, right? So then you have ye, dua, tsóokʼ. So there's a couple of neat things with this attributive whenever you start throwing the yeh in there. If you're going to throw a yeh on there, you got to check one thing. You look back at the classifier, and if that classifier is plus I, then you need to throw that suffix on there. And so the suffix for here would be U. But what happens there, once you add this U, it's going to change this to a U, and because this is a K, that has to change to a G. Because you can't say ye dusaku. It's just too awkward in the mouth. If you just try to say it, ye dusaku. So that's why it shifts to a G. It says, that's the same sound anyways, k, g, k, g. You just don't turn off the vocal cords because they're on either side of that sound. That's what pushes it to the G. So then you end up with ye, dua, sagu, yeah. The place that's called whatever, right? And then you can also say ye, tuwa, sagu, at. And what's that saying?
The thing that is called?
The thing, or what if I said this? T'aawáḳ ye tuwa sagu at.
The
It's
heron.
called a heron? That thing
No.
is called a heron?
Well, you got to look at this part now.
Oh, we call a heron.
Right. And that's from another story. T'aawáḳ ye tuwa sagu at. Well, that would actually switch this to you. Okay. Okay. Good stuff. Good question. So yeah, so if you have these things, so these they get a little tricky. So I do think if you said yanagut, right? So and then you'd probably have yanagut, yeah, the place where they are walking. But if you said wugut, that's a plus I classifier, so then I would expect it to go to that. Wugudiya, the place where they walked. Okay.
Why don't you use the for walked? Because it's plural. Or is they singular there?
That's a singular.
Okay.
Or else I'd say they all. Which is we're still working on that. And I have some people who are in staunch opposition to a singular they. They'll tell me every time. They'll say, well, do it your way then.
Can, when you're talking about AAX underline, would it have the same meaning whether it's high A or low A?
It's got to be low. So this comes from, there's three ways to say this, I think. You go, and that's just what you end up with.
And that means from there,
from it.
from it.
So there is a couple of these. So kach is another one. Right. So you could say, and you usually say like ʼadudli.átgi or nanéin, and this comes from ka and dach. But it ends up going long and low as well.
And is there such a word as ādach, high A,
Yeah,
ādach?
yeah, ādach would be from it.
With a high A, it would be the same meaning?
Well, I think if you're going to have the high right here, because if you,
No, I mean the high first A.
that would be from a lake.
Oh. Okay.
If you're going to go from, yeah, I mean, I think you could do that.
So if it was a singular A, would it mean it's, possessive it's?
Yeah, well, so usually with the singular, it ends up kind of, you end up with that, which is really interesting. So that's why a whole bunch of these carrying verbs have ach, ke, gati, we, ash, ka, kuch. Oh, what's that say? Ach, ke, gati, we, ash, ka, kuch. How do we translate that? Ach, ke, gati, we, ash, ka, kuch.
A book at the end.
It's not quite a book. It's an
Sorry?
ashka. What's ashka?
Pick up the playing cards?
Yeah.
Ah, right.
Pick up a card, draw a card, whatever. Playing, and you could say, let's say we're playing Uno, like, dech, ach, kekete, we ashka kuch. Draw 2 cards.
Renee, just because I'm lazy, how would you say turn over a card?
You yachte, we ashka kuch.
Sheesh.
These 3 things together is how you get to turn it over. You yach.
Can you break that down?
I don't know how it works.
Okay, then never mind. As far as a kach, was that, yeah, a kach is like from on top? Is
Yeah.
that the kach? Okay.
Yes. And so it's wild because like a kach would be like moving around on it or repeatedly being on it. A ka is off of it.
Okay, goodness, sheesh.
I think ya.
What is the word ashka?
Oh, gambling. Or playing cards. So like if you're gonna play cards, you know, you could say ashka is the right verb for playing cards. Ashkushet is the right verb for running around and playing. And tsóokʼ is the right verb for like playing quietly, like fiddling with something. So those are also important ones, like in the language nest and stuff, where we used to say ashkushet for everything, you know, playing Monopoly or something, but they'd say, well, that's like ashka. But there's still a gray area there in terms of board games. I still think board games, though, I think we end up with
So like sort of playing with objects without running around is more like Monopoly or playing cards or something.
I think
Ashka.
it's ashka because somebody's gonna win.
Oh,
That's how I think of it.
yay, huatlak.
Tsóokʼ would just be like playing with dolls or little. It's gonna be kind of a quieter sit-down game, but there's no loser. Ashka is usually someone's going home angry. If you're competitive.
So ashka is defining the kind of
Yeah.
of piece of paper or whatever.
Yeah, so ashka kuk is what we've come up with for playing cards.
Ashka.
And
And
how,
And the verb for ashka is
gambling.
gamble. Goodness, geez.
Huh.
how would you say deal the cards or like give them out?
I guess I'd probably say qajite wa ashka kuk. Or qajit yesene. So yesene is what you end up with, like, would be like plural objects or just generally things. And then ye nasne is a little different, which is do it. And ye nasne day is what we were given for just do it. Like the guys with the swoosh, the Nike people.
Could you say, we ashka kuk dagati?
What was the naqati? Was that
Dagati,
akati? Like
dagati,
oh
distribute them around?
oh yeah, that could work. Daqati.
Only would be the imperative form of that, right? Or no, because that's, don't you attach dagati onto a verb to say you distributed, you distributed using that verb or whatever?
Well, so like daqati is usually a plural non-human. That's how I've usually heard that.
Like the houses that were along the lake.
Daqati we hit the houses were over there, yeah. So I mean,
So
if you
could you use that
to
with cards?
but then this is usually like daqati would usually mean like plural non-humans are being. So I
Oh.
would say qajit ye saneh we ashqa uk. Like put it in the people's hands. That's basically what you end up saying. But I can ask a speaker and see what they say, or if anyone else is working with speakers, ask them how they'd say deal the cards. I think shuffle. Did we get wushchut?
I think we need a field trip to practice all this stuff.
Oh, okay.
Which-
Hold on. Great point. If you're up for it, send a letter to Joe Nelson, or to the T'aawáḳ Board of Directors. I think they're going to meet fairly soon. It's going to have to be by tomorrow, I think. They're going to consider buying a house that would be turned into a language house here in Juneau. And it would be a model for something that could be replicated in other communities. So we had a couple of houses this summer that we just rented, and it was a bad experience because they said too many cars and the neighbors complained, and they were watching us too.
Juan Plain was just talking about some good speakers that want to come to Wrangell and need a place to stay. They actually want to move to Wrangell, but on an opportunity basis, it would be great for each community to have a house or a place that could be rented for that kind of activity.
Yeah, so it's a pilot project, but they need letters of support, and especially if you're involved with any organizations who might be able to influence them as well, because their job is to make money, right? Not to really, but they are heavily invested in our languages, and so I think it'd be a great next step because then we could ashqa all the time.
Email for Joe.
Joe.nelson@sealaska.com.
Like how in regards to Language House in Juneau or Language Houses Project or something like that? Would that make sense?
I would say the Language House in Juneau.
Okay.
We really need a place where our language lives. We need a home for our language. And we
Okay.
would encourage them to
Mhm.
go for it because it's kind of a new venture, hasn't been done before. I mean, we've talked about it for years, but I think they're going to try and push it forward. And there's going to be some pushback, which is like, who's going to run it and how's it going to get booked? And
Did you guys get the funding for the Airbnb type stuff from Alaska as well to fund language events? Okay.
and so it was wonderful. We had really great gatherings, but
Okay.
and then we
Because that's the kind of
got
thing that Juan Plain might be able to use.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. The process. What are we gonna do? What are we here for? We have a syllabus. Some of the important things about the syllabus, I'll just go over kind of quickly because we've been doing this for a while. Important things is we're going to do a midterm project, we'll do a final project, but outside of that, we're just going to try and spend Mondays in conversation, Wednesdays going over some actual specific lessons, and there'll probably be lessons sprinkled in and stuff. But we'll do the same thing. We're going to try to really push ourselves to just stay in the language, to speak. And so I'm open to receiving ideas or having folks take turns to sort of get us started. Just to try and keep me, I don't want to just talk the whole time. Like if it's too quiet, I'll just keep talking. And so we'll keep coming up with ways, and it could start like really small. We could do some more sort of foundational sort of stuff, and then we can move up to other things. But I'm hoping, I think next week I'll start a sign-up sheet. I'll try it again. I think I tried it last semester, maybe abandoned it. But to all have you guys take turns starting. You don't have to lead the whole thing, but just to get us started and give us ideas on what to do. And you'll tell us on the end of the Wednesday class for the coming, we won't do it next week, but we'll start the week after next week. So that we'll all take turns sort of sparking the discussion by telling us on Wednesday, right before we leave, what to think about or research or get ready. So we could all come back and hopefully everybody shares a little bit of something, even if it's small. Like you got to talk. If you don't talk, you'll just find yourself and people will try and talk to you and you'll say, "Hey, right? Because you haven't, this is the time to do the thing. And then we'll do lessons. We're going to sort of pick up a little bit where we left off. We'll back up a little bit. And we're getting into like how to construct things. But I'll try to be a little bit more conscious this semester about giving you specific assignments as well based on some of those things that we're studying. So if we're studying object combinations, and I want you, the has-khat is very, I think that's a tricky order, right? Has-khat yawaqa, they told me. Or has-khat yawsaqa, they told me. And then that's kind of what we're doing. If you look at the syllabus as well, there's other important information in there, just in terms of the resources. You should know most of them by now. I'm going to try and finish a couple new things this semester. We'll see how it goes. And then, if anybody discriminates against you for anything at the university, you have resources, let me know. If there's any don't sexually harass people and don't stalk people and don't cause any harm. And if anybody's doing any of that stuff, you have resources through Title IX. We have a Title IX office, which helps with both discrimination, gender-based, sexual orientation, lifestyle, any of that stuff. If someone's treating you, you feel like you're being treated differently, or you have different opportunities for success here because of that stuff, there's avenues to pursue. And if anybody's causing any sort of stalking or sexual crimes or anything like that, sexual assault, sexual harassment, there's an office that can help deal with those things. And if I end up hearing about those things, I will report them because that is part of my job, is to keep everybody safe and keep this whole campus safe by making sure that those things are not happening. Let's see, ask questions if you got them. And bring us things, ideas. If there's things you want to work on, we'll probably have some We're gonna have another story to translate starting next week, which will be fun. So I'll show you the Tlingit, and you'll tell me the English.
We're going to do the future, right? This semester.
At some point in the
Future. We're going to. Aren't we going to move into the future ever?
Yes, we're gonna unlock the future. We're gonna unlock the negative perfective, and then we're gonna start moving into some of the other wilder things. A hortative.
You know, I would like to have a list of verbs that we should know by now,
E.g. woo.
or we want to use by now. Just because if, you know, there's a lot of very interesting ones, but I would like some
Haji
handy.
woo. Haji
Yeah.
woo. Hawusune kayukatongi.
Well, I know, but you know, just so we
Tlingit
use
verb
each one
handbook.
in the thing.
Tlingit verb handbook that Kone
Well, I
made.
have that. I have
And
that.
it has like 30 verbs completely conjugated.
I know it has them, but we're not using all of them on a
Well,
regular basis.
I
in
don't know about
class.
you, but I try to memorize them somewhat unsuccessfully because I won't use them unless I memorize them.
Well, let's use the reference guide then, and I'll challenge you folks to use those verbs in a bunch of different ways. So maybe that'll be some of the exercises as well as, because what we did, the origin of that book is we were in Whitehorse, and we just sort of brainstormed. We're like, what's like the 20, 30 most commonly used verbs? And it's not like we did some intensive study. We just sort of talked amongst ourselves, and we figured like, we got to do this one, that one, this one, that one. And so it has them listed, and then they're conjugated by, it doesn't show you the translation, but it shows you like the template. Oh, the verb of the day. Okay, let's do it. And we'll do the verb of the week. That sounds great. That should be our verb for next week, which would be being scared. So start off with fear. I'm just kidding. We'll pick a different one. Maybe I think yati should be the first one, because if you can do yati, you can actually say like 20 different verbs technically. To want it or to need it, to be there, to be still, to be concerned. There's a whole bunch. I'll show you all the different things you can build from yati, which is in the someday coming, what was it called? The Tlingit conjugation game or whatever that thing is that I never. All these half-finished projects. You should have seen me. I was just teaching my last class. It's like, finish what you start. I just kept telling them, like a true hypocrite. But I do finish things. I just have lots of other things I'm still finishing. So, yeah, and then so I think let's review the perfective. Let's make sure we've got the perfective down as far as like our grammar roadmap. And Gach An-san has something to share with us next week about. So next week we're not going to do all conversation yet. We're going to ease into it, but we're going to start making sure that we understand. Like, you should be able to look at just any verb and say, I could put that in the perfective. I could do it. Any person, me, you, us, y'all, them all, people. I could do it all in perfective. You become a perfective tate. Kashuk kawadai wasa.
Nashish, I was wondering about study groups and when those are happening, if folks could share about that.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think Monday, I'll share the link again for the Discord, for the base camp. I think I'll try a new base camp group and just try and smoosh everybody together. We probably won't have a super class until February, because I think we're just trying to get our feet on the ground after floating around for Takusa Yis Gau. But yeah, study groups would be wonderful, because there's that one Zoom link that's always there. Folks want to use it. There's different opportunities to get together and to study and to create stuff. And then I'll try to do a little bit more, especially after next week, once we sort of figure out who is the gang, breaking you into temporary groups to do group projects as well.
The verb of the week, yati. I'm tired tonight and I can't find it. Please put the root for me.
T.
Ah,
One of the
So
20
what number one?
meanings of T.
We'll put a little number 1 after it, just so we know which one we're looking at. And so, yeah, over the weekend, see how many sentences you can write with the yati verb. And this is Hamlet's, my achsani plain Hamlet. Kanachawi de tuasagu we verb. T'aawáḳ. This is Hamlet's favorite verb, so it's to be. Right? T'aawáḳ. I don't know what comes after that. Shakespeare was a long time ago. Anything else, folks? Okay, we're 18 strong. That's pretty impressive for an advanced Tlingit class. So we'll see you folks on Monday. Bring as many Yati sentences as you can. We'll start with those. And then we'll just kind of go from there. And we're just getting started. So everything's okay. Everything's okay. The tide is up. It's nice slack tide. Nothing to worry about. Boat's not going to float away. Everything's going to be just fine.
Snug Harbor.
Yeah. Kunaqi. What else do they call it? It's another word. ʼadudli. It's a sheltered harbor. Yeah, away. Okay, kulchish. Yebushka.
Nashish, Yagan.
Yuchatangi, T'aawáḳ.
Hi, kijk, zit hier niet kulchish.
Etsu.